Hey guys, it's Kathy, and I'm back with another process video for Wednesday. And this is my third time recording this, so I'm really fingers crossed that it goes well because I can't remember what happened the first time, but I know the second time I had kind of a meltdown because there was a spider in my craft room, and I'm like terrified of spiders, no matter what size they are. Even though this guy was little, he kind of freaked me out, and I lost him, and I don't know where he went. So I'm super freaked out that he's just going to crawl up my leg or something. But anyway, I will continue on bravely through this. Um, but yeah, I'm working on a picture of my two pictures of my son, but one I'm going to crop out so you just see the feet like that. Haha. And I'm actually going to lay them like that. I wasn't sure how I was going to do them, but when I realized that I could lay them like on top of his feet and it almost looked like I zoomed in, well, I had to do it that way. So I'm using this polka dot paper. The other side is a big alphabet, and my video kind of goes wonky here for in a second. So just I didn't pause it or anything. I don't know, for some reason I can't edit this out, but it stops. Must have been something with my phone. I was probably receiving a phone call or something. There we go. Anyway, we're past it now. So the polka dot has a big alphabet on the back, and I don't know who it's from. I thought it was a Pink Paisley C'est La Vie, but I'm really not sure. So I love the polka dot either way. That was the one I was going to go with. The wood grain is a craft market from crepe paper. The little lion's cub head is Little You. Sorry. And I love it. This gray paper with the little white stars, I think is from crepe paper, but I bought it in a package of papers and they didn't say what collections they were from. Just that I'm pretty certain it was part of a crepe paper one. So then am using packaging from the Hip Kit Club's exclusive ephemera because the blue stripe was a perfect match to the other blues that I was working with. So I loved that. And then I'm using some vellum that I just kind of ripped just to have a different edge going on. And that frame is from the May 2016 Hip Kit. Just one of the frames I had left over. And I love how when I placed it on that picture like that, like, yes, I'm covering up him grabbing his toes in the other picture, but it just kind of looks like I did like here's, a 10 times zoom of what's going on. So I'm using the little cut apart there that says Little Man Cub, just because it's cute. And I'm kind of roughing up some of the edges just to add a little bit extra. This doesn't end up being like a huge dimensional layout like some of my others have been. And I didn't do a whole lot of layering underneath the picture. I was just showing that I'm going to use chipboard from either the Little You collection that's girl or boy. I think I may end up using some of each. I have both, and I just, use them for whatever. I love this Little You collection. It's like my favorite baby collection that I think has existed so far. I just like the colors, and I really love the little characters and stuff. And I'm going to use some of the Wonder collection too, just a little bit, just a few stickers. I love the Wonder collection. That's also one of my favorite collections that's come out recently. I love most of the papers in it, but my big reason for liking it is the ephemera. The chipboard is super cute. I was not able to ever get my hands on the puffy stickers. I wish I was, because I loved the puffy stickers. But I have the stickers and the ephemera and the chipboard. And then I think there were words that came with it too. And I just love all of it. And I apologize if you hear a lot of rustling. My husband's trying to fix our dryer. It's kind of on the fritz. And we don't have a clothesline, so excuse me. So I need the dryer. So I want to use that little cub chipboard, that little line cub, and I do end up moving it to the top. I do end up moving a few of these things around. The arrow ends up moving eventually, and I don't end up using that flare button because really I think the only reason I brought it in was to have a different shape other than square, and because it was blue, the camera was the same kind of blue, but I don't end up using it because there's not really any need for it. So I'm just going to keep it. But I do end up using that chipboard that I keep messing around with that says hello, which is from the Wonder Collection chipboard. But I do end up putting it on the bottom, kind of underneath the little man cub peach piece. Yeah. And I do end up moving the arrow onto the little peach cutout as well. So I went off and found these ephemera pieces. And they are also from the Little You collection. This is the boy ephemera. I didn't bother buying the girl ephemera because it comes with a lot of acetate, and I struggle using acetate because I don't know what to do with it, and I use a lot of pattern paper, and acetate tends to get lost in pattern paper. So that arrow is part of an ephemera piece from the Chamel Starshine collection that said "Away we go," and then the star kind of came around, or the arrow kind of came around, but the arrow was peachy, like a peachy pink, and it was perfect match with that little man cub one. So I was really excited to bring in those two colors, or that color, into the other side of my embellishment cluster. And I only do 2 embellishment clusters with this, so there isn't a third, and you don't always have to do a third. I don't think. I think when your embellishment clusters are big enough, or they stretch out enough, that you don't really have to. But I find it kind of important, if you don't do don't do a 3 embellishment cluster, that you do some other kind of 3 somewhere else. And I do end up doing washi tape in 3 different places, so that's kind of my 3 spot. So I always do my embellishment clusters, and I always do embellishment clusters. I don't know what it is. I just like the dimension of them and adding in texture and everything. So I'm using some black and white twine. But as I was saying, I always tend to do them like around the photo this way. Like, this is my go-to kind of layout, is photo, layers, and then like a top right and lower left embellishment cluster, just depending on how the photo works. Because if the photo's pointed a different way, then I will probably change where the clusters sit. But I have been enjoying doing embellishment clusters for a really long time. So it is just my go-to. I almost have to force myself to do another style, because this is like, if I never looked on Pinterest and got inspired, I think every single layout would just look like this that I did, because this is just my go-to. So I did 2 like like little things, kind of like Missy does with her thread, but I did them with the big thick baker's twine, just because I wanted something kind of scribbly looking. So, and then I put these little, they're kind of like these wood thick enamel dot looking things, and I think they're from Pink Fresh Studio, but from a year or 2 ago, because they're from an old kit club from Scraptastic, and I don't subscribe to them and haven't in a few years. So that would have been from like the last one I got. So my title is going to be Toe Sucker, and I spelled toe with these, DIY like canvas thickers that you could spray or paint or whatever, but I just leave them white because I like them like that. I just use them primarily because they were white, and because I could get uppercase and lowercase fonts. So I could do a big O, which is just something I wanted to do. So I use this this is an old foam thicker that I could never even tell you the name of, if it even had a name. It probably did. I don't know. I probably just bought them at Michael's. It's kind of one of their standard ones that they carry a lot of. And I love it. It's just a really funky sans serif font. So it works out really well, and it doesn't really blend in too well or too much with the polka dots. So I'm happy about that. I'm going to use some of these Market Street on trend Market Street. I don't remember. Yeah, Market Street. Oh my gosh, can't even think tonight. Um, enamel dots. I'm just going to use the tiny ones and I'm putting them inside some of the polka dots. It's a very subtle addition. Barely would notice it normally. You can see up at the top by my tag that there is like kind of a gold strip. That's the washi tape I brought in. It was a Kane Company Smashbook washi tape that was kind of clear and had big geometric pieces of gold and anchors and arrows. And so I'm going to make my own ink with water and old like Americana craft paint, because this gives a nice big flat black splatter. And I love the look of that. I like the flat black a lot as opposed to like a shiny one. But yeah, so that's pretty much it. Layout's done. Pictures are coming up. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!